Hello, my name is Jennifer and I'm going to walk you through a Star Wars inspired photograph edit. This is the original image we're going to be working from. I've bypassed the cleanup stage. There are several tutorials available on YouTube and other platforms that'll walk you through retouching and cleanup, but just for a quick reference, this is what the image looked like before, and this is what it looked like after retouching. You can see I removed the tattoo and the straps on the dress. I didn't feel like they were conducive to the theme. And I extended the makeup on her eyes for a more alien-esque look. This is the image we're going to be working from. And the first thing we want to do is we want to create a selective color layer. I want this image to be mostly black and white with a popping color of red. That's the color choice theme for the Dark Empire, so it makes most sense for me to have this image be mostly black and white with an accent color of red. And I plan to really pop the reds out in the belt here. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the red colors in the selective coloring adjustment layer. Take away the cyan and really push the magenta and yellow. You'll notice how it adjusted the color of her skin. Caucasian skins pick up magenta and yellow. You can easily mask this out using the mask that comes with the adjustment layer. But I'm going to be adding a black and white adjustment layer, which is going to cancel the effect out. I've just added the black and white adjustment layer, and it's turned the entire image black and white. Now, I want the red to come back on the belt. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my brush tool, make sure the color black is selected, and mask out that black and white adjustment layer. You'll want to be more precise. I recommend using the pen tool, but for the tutorial sake and timing, I'm just going to be really quick. Beautiful. Now the image is too black and white in my opinion. I want a little bit of the original toning back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my black and white adjustment layer and take the opacity down to about 70%. That brings a little more color back into her skin. Now I really want the belt to stand out, and it's a little dark right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dodging layer by going to Layer, New Layer, change the color to gray, and the mode to Overlay. I'm going to check this box, Fill with Overlay Neutral Color, 50% gray, and hit OK. I'm going to go to my Tools bar and select the Dodge tool. You can adjust the opacity you want. Starting with a low number is good, and going up from there. And now I'm just going to go over the areas that I want to be highlighted. There's a lot of really great metal accent to this belt. It's very eye-catching, so I want to make sure I dodge that. Again, you'll want to be more precise. This is just a quick run through. Alternate between your midtones and your highlights. I'm also going to dodge her leg a little bit, just to kind of help with exposure and lighting where I want the eye to follow. And then I'm going to go up to her face and dodge her chin out a bit, as well as her neck. Beautiful. So this is the before and after the dodge layer. Now we're going to play with the atmosphere of the image by creating a new layer, going over to our gradient tool, and changing the colors to 2 shades of gray to keep with the monochromatic theme. I'm going to fill this in. And now we're going to change the blend mode to lighten. It's too strong right now, so we're going to take the opacity down. That's good. Just a small, subtle change. To help blend the 2 layers, I'm going to add a layer mask by dragging it down to the Add Layer Mask tool. And then I'm going to take my black brush and black out the effects of that layer, just to kind of help blend the original image with that adjustment layer, so it looks like one cohesive piece and not layer added upon layer. That's good. Now this would be okay as is, but I want to push a little further, so I'm going to create a new layer, go back to my gradient tool, make sure my colors are where I want them, and add another layer. I want the light to be a little more concentrated on her face, so when I change the blend mode to lighten, lower the opacity, you'll see that it kind of helped create a spotlight around her face. And again, I'm going to drag this down to the Add Layer Mask tool and blend the layers a bit by using my black brush and going over where I don't want the effects to happen. That looks good. Now this would be okay again as is, but I want to push it just a little further. So I'm going to create a new layer. Again, use my gradient tool. And now I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay. And you'll see what that did there. It created this really nice soft vignette and additional spotlighting around her face. It also helped the colors a bit, making them a truer gray. Love it. Alright. And again, I'm going to add a layer mask and just take out the features on her face a little bit. Beautiful. Now for the finishing touch, as no Sith warrior is complete without her red sabers, we're going to add a new layer and then draw our sabers in using the pen tool. That's one. That's two. Now what I want to do is I want to select these shapes and fill them in. So we're going to go to Paths, make Selection, and I'm going to leave it on a feather radius of 0 just to give it a really hard edge. Increasing the number will help feather it out and soften that edge. Select my other shape and do it again. Except select Add to Selection and hit OK. I don't need these shapes anymore, so I'm going to trash them. I'm going to create a new layer. Go to my brush tool and paint them in with white. Okay, and there's the outline for our sabers. We're going to duplicate this layer 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. I'm going to go down to the second layer, go to Filter, Gaussian Blur, and change the radius to 1. I'm going to go to the next layer, Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, change it to 10. Again, Blur, Gaussian Blur, change it to 20. And once more, Blur, Gaussian Blur at 30. Okay, I'm going to merge all of these layers. Stepping down 1 layer, I'm going to create a new layer, change the blend mode to screen, and check the box Fill with Screen Neutral Color Black. Okay, going to merge down my saber layer with that layer. Now we're going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Color Balance. Check the box Use Previous Layer to create clipping mask, and hit OK. Go to your sliders and adjust them for the color you want. They're going to adjust that hazy edge, keeping the center white, like the sabers in the movies. Perfect. And there you have it. Here's our before image and our after image. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I'm going to include links to the YouTube tutorial videos I used to create the sabers, as well as a link to Natalia Taffarel's website, as I recommend her in educating yourself in the ways of retouching and image cleanup. Once again, my name is Jennifer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing all the Star Wars images on Facebook and other social media platforms. Take care.